I think we can agree collectively.
Yes.
Mange, out of here. Contractor,
yeah.
out of here. Fast Food Nation,
Bye-bye.
out of here. And Beau is Afraid, unfortunately, my dear, I love you. No.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Cannes Canon, the show where, well at this point you probably know what the show is. This is the ultimate episode of everything that we've watched so far in parallel, in preparation for this year's Cannes Film Festival. And Matt and I have extensively deliberated to see what films we are willing to award these prizes from the Cannes Palmarès.
So at this point, you probably know what we think about the Cannes films better than we do, but we have decided on all of these. So Arnaud, shall we begin with the first category?
Yes, we should. Let's see how we figured out the Screenplay prize.
Maybe Lorna's Silence could be a consideration for a screenplay.
We have to consider Life in a Day a little bit for Screenplay.
Oh, dear God, yes.
Yeah.
I think it could be more.
It might not be the obvious choice, is Mimosas.
Interesting. I don't see that.
Because I'm looking at these, and I think I would be very happy giving that a Screenplay prize.
Look,
there.
I would just be happy with Moonrise Kingdom being on the board. And the winner of the Screenplay prize, Wes Anderson and Roman Coppola for Moonrise Kingdom.
I can't offer you a legally binding union. It won't hold up in the state, the county, or frankly any courtroom in the world due to your age, lack of a license, and failure to get parental consent.
Congratulations to Wes Anderson and Roman Coppola for this very prestigious award. The screenplay is something we felt was very much worthy of this award.
So, Mr. President, the next category.
The next category we'll be presenting is the Actress Prize. Let's see what the deliberations were like.
Lorna's Silence has to be up there for an Actress Prize, please.
Life in a Day could be up there.
I would prefer actor. I think Helena Zengel.
Helena Zengel. And you know what? Screw it. Let's put The Two Children.
Yeah. I feel like Dark Blue Girl is much better representation of a child actor. It's like
You got to think
acting.
of that last scene.
Yes, the last scene. Yes,
Like she was able to do that. Still feels weird to me to give this the Actress Prize. I don't know.
And the winner of the prize for Best Actress is Arta Debroshi for Lorna's Silence.
Ok, si j'ai un enfant, moi bébé.
Baby and drink?
Non, non, moi bébé, pas avec toi.
Mariage, yes, baby no.
Non, non, toi juste mariage. Moi bébé.
Подожди, ничего не понимаю. Сейчас, подожди секунду.
Non, 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 on parlera une autre fois, c'est rien.
Костя, иди сюда.
Pas problème, c'est rien.
This was a performance that, like many of the leads in the Dardenne brothers films, is raw and real, and there's times when you don't feel as though she's even acting whatsoever, but she is the anchor for this entire film, rarely leaving the screen, and going through immense traumatic experiences. Her work in this is fascinating and is really the mark of a performer that I would love to see doing far more.
Next up, we will talk about the Acting Prize. So let's see how we figured out this category in our deliberations.
Yeah.
Bruce Greenwood for actor in that film.
Would definitely be worth considering.
Hussein for Crimson Gold. That I think is my coup de cœur. I understand that Navid Mohamed-Sadeh is your personal
Absolutely.
favorite.
That's
but
my coup de cœur.
I think Payal Madi is also fantastic in that.
They're all great.
And then we have to consider Sergi Lopez.
We have to consider Sergi
We have
Lopez,
to consider Sergi.
the lead actor of Mofi, who I think is very strong in that role. So what I want to ask is, Life in a Day, if we don't give it Best Actor, are we giving it something else?
So for the actor category, we are going to present you with a tie. We don't always tie, but when we tie, it's for a reason. The first recipient of the acting prize is Hossein Emadeddin for Jafar Panahi's film Crimson Gold.
And the second performance that will be tying for this award is Naveed Mohammed Zeda for Life and a Day.
سمیه مامان رو حساب کی میخوای ول کنی بری؟ روزایی که تو خونه نیستین آبجیات به مامان آب و غذا نمیدن که یه وقت دستشویش نگیره. من میگم نرو چون نمیدونیم این یارو کیه. چون مامان مریضه تو بری تنها میمونه. چون خونه زندگیمون بو میگیره ولی اگه رفتی دیگه برنگرد. چون نمیگن اعظمشون شوهرش مرده، لیلاشون خودش شوهر نمیکنه، میگن مشکل از ماست. تو رو قرآن یه ذره هم به فکر ما باشی کاری نکنید حرف دهن این لاتولوتاشیم.
Both of these performances very different in so many ways.
Very different.
I mean, something that we talked about is you have one non-actor who has not acted in anything before or since, and the realism that comes from that, and then you have a trained professional actor, and sort of the contrast between those two and what they both bring. And I think it's a really great case for both why non-actors are worth watching and worth casting, and why professional actors are professional actors.
We are now moving on to the Director Prize. And let's see what director we were looking at for this prize.
What we're looking at here, I would say, Long Day's Journey into Night, Neighboring Sounds, Mimosas.
Mimosas, absolutely.
Absolutely brilliantly directed.
I suppose A Gentle Tree Creature.
I suppose so. I would not go any higher than director for this.
And I suppose maybe we can consider Plan 75 for director?
I would consider Life in a Day for director, absolutely.
I didn't
it is one
necessarily
my
think of it that
favorite,
way.
But I can't see a world where we cut Life in a Day.
And so the directing prize goes to Oliver Lash for Mimosas.
ما تيجي عاود كلامي.
A very ambitious and thematically rich directed film, a film with a lot of different aesthetic pleasures to offer to us, a lot of depth, a film that is quite rich in its visual ideas and narrative structure.
So next up, we'll be talking about the jury prize. So take a look at how our deliberations for this category went.
Rehearsals for War, if it's anything, it's a jury prize.
Okay, let me just ask you this. Would you consider Moonrise Kingdom for a jury prize?
I have trouble seeing that fit.
I love Neighboring Sounds. I could see a world where that would be my palm.
I've been hinting at this whole time. I think there's a film that's very jury prize core. Guess what it is?
And the winner of the jury prize this year is Kleber Mendonça Filho for Neighboring Sounds.
A eletricidade está desligada. Mas algum problema? Não, é momentâneo. Vamos ver. Cozinha.
This is a film that I think struck both of us very deeply, but I just adore films that feel partly like an ensemble piece, partly like a city symphony. This is a movie all about the feeling of a neighborhood being alive, and with some of the tensions that have lasted for decades. I feel like this is a brilliant film, and one that I think is very worthy of the jury prize. There's a little bit of a less polished nature to it. It's a little bit rough around the edges, but it's so
But there's so many
special.
ideas.
There's so many ideas. It's teeming with ideas. It's teeming with experimentation. And that makes it, I think, perfect for a jury prize.
For the Grand Prix, here is what the deliberations looked like. It feels to me like our top three right now are these. You know this is my favorite one.
I know.
It kind of electrified me a little bit. Okay.
It's a film that hasn't evolved or grown on me.
Because
I've
it's a film
watched,
that for me,
16 films since then.
Yeah, I suppose.
Although I feel like I like this one much more than I like
And so the Grand Prix goes to Sergei Lotznitsa's A Gentle Creature.
Значит так, слушай меня внимательно, дальше уж твое дело. Я могу посадить тебя за несанкционированный пикет раз. За неповиновение правоохранительным органам 2. Могу найти кое-что в сумочке 3. Поняла? Тебе вчера сказали, что передачу не примут. Сказали? Ну?
One of the films that most impacted me, and a film that all around is incredibly accomplished, from its craft to its ideas to its narrative ambition. A film that expresses its ideas with extreme intelligence and clarity, but also completely deroutes you to offer something incredibly ambitious and original.
So, the Palme d'Or.
The Palme d'Or.
The Palme d'Or.
What was our Palme d'Or?
Well,
it can only be one film.
It can only be one film. You cannot tie this category. So, I think we ended up on something that we were pretty happy with. So, let's roll the footage of the deliberations.
You love neighboring sounds,
I do.
And I really like neighboring sounds. You really like A Gentle Creature, and I love A Gentle Creature.
Special Palme.
Special Palme.
Palme?
We're only 4 years in. Are we ready to give a special Palme?
Of these three, this would be my Palme.
I'm not against that idea, but I'm thinking of, if this does not get the Palme d'Or, what the hell does? And so our Palme d'Or for the 2025 Cannes Parallel Challenge goes to
Long Day's Journey into Night, directed by Guillaume.
我要咋个样才能给你赔礼道歉？
我要吃夜游子。
夏天咋个可能有夜游子？
看我们打个赌。如果我能找到夜游子，你就帮我实现一个愿望。
What can you say about this film? It's just
absolutely
enchanting.
Kind of momentous for an art house film.
Absolutely. This is the type of event that that art cinema enthusiasts get excited for.
An experience like no other. A film that is incredibly polished, incredibly mastered.
It is insane to think of someone approaching a project as ambitious as this, as young as that. There's just so many layers to this. It is a film in two halves. Both halves could not exist without the other. And I think that's just what makes a perfect film in a way.
So how do you feel about this overall?
I like this lineup. There's nothing I would argue with here. I am very happy with all of this. I like all of these films. I like all of the performances we've chosen. I think back to, we were talking yesterday about the Denis Villeneuve quote where he said, did I win some battles? Yes. Did I lose some battles? Maybe. I don't think there were really battles fought this year. I think that we kind of just fell in line, that this is what made sense.
Yeah. I thought we were going to be debating and arguing more than we actually wound up doing. And I think part of that is because we weren't stubborn and we were choosing our battles wisely.
To be fair, we have also done this experiment for 4 years.
Yes, and we know each other. We know how to deal with each other.
And that's the other thing, is that we know how the compromises are going to end up anyways, right?
I know we've been saying 4 Asian Palme d'Ors. We've given 3 Chinese Palme d'Ors.
Yeah.
That's kind of
that's even more specific.
There's something about China.
There is, but this is the thing. China has such a rich tradition of cinema and art cinema.
Yeah.
But it feels like so often Chinese cinema is kind of put into a box of the mainstream.
Yeah.
And films like Dead Souls, films like A Touch of Sin, films like Long Day's Journey into Night, those aren't the films that the Chinese government is touting and being like, look at Chinese cinema.
Yeah.
No, they're talking about Nija 2 and which I love. I love Nija 2, but Wandering Earth. Right?
Yes.
But China has such a rich cinema culture. It just so happens that a lot of it ends up being quite underground. I mean, this is a rare one where somehow it made a ton of money.
Yeah, that was based on a marketing trick.
Scheme.
Yeah, exactly. Low-key makes me want to watch more Chinese films and kind of avoid having these blind spots so that we're not caught
So
with
we
like,
don't keep
yeah,
giving
don't giving, yeah.
Yeah.
Enough of that, China. You don't need to win every single time.
But then what happens when we have another Bigan where we're like, well, we've seen all their films already. We love all their films.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
But how are you feeling about this lineup?
I feel great, just like you. I'm very happy. I think my personal top 3 favorite films are our Palme d'Or, Grand Prix, and Jury Prize, not in that order, but still. And I'm very happy about the other films that we rewarded as well.
On a personal level, the only film that I absolutely love that is not represented here is Beau is Afraid. But I knew that was not a fight that I was going to take because I know you don't like the film.
Yeah, you got to
so
pick and choose a little bit.
You pick and choose your battles.
And, you know, I really, really love Meek's Cutoff, but, you know, I'm very happy with the other films that we rewarded.
Yeah.
So this concludes the Cannes Parallel Challenge, but it does not conclude the Cannes Canon because, of course, you guys are getting a new episode tomorrow on location at Cannes. Well, with that said, make sure to catch the next episode and we'll see you on the Closet.